everyone, and welcome back to Adulting Done Right. If you are joining us again, thank you so much and welcome back. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Ginger, and Adulting Done Right, we are really here to help share our experiences with the fun and maybe not so fun aspects of adulting with all of you. And some of you may be thinking, well, you know what, I'm already doing that. Maybe I don't need this. Maybe I don't want to watch this. You know, we're always going to encounter those things that we may never have done before, or maybe are brand new. And sometimes you just need a little help, a little guidance, and a little model to help kind of show you the way. And I know that's definitely been the case for me in my life. Today, we are going to be talking about the game we're all playing. And some of us are aware of the game. I would say the vast majority aren't aware of the game that we're playing though. And the problem with that is that the vast majority of us are playing the wrong game. And what do I mean by that? So, when you're growing up and you are playing sports, you're playing board games, all of those games, right, which some of them teach you life lessons, a lot of them teach you life lessons, but the problem is that those games are finite games, meaning there are known players, right? All of the players in the game are known, right? You think football, you think baseball, you think a board game. All of the players in that game or in those games are known players. There are an agreed upon set of rules, and there is an outcome. There's a winner at the end, and everybody knows this, right? And I think about the game of life is a really great kind of example for me that I thought of, which is, if any of you have ever played the game of life, I'll link it down below for those of you that are interested, or back on our website at adultingdoneright.com. But if you played the game of life or have ever played the game of life, you know it's a board game that's about going through the different stages of life, growing up, getting a job, having a relationship, and then progressing through your career, ultimately to reach the end of your life where you have retirement and you are done. And the problem with this game, right, is that it's a finite game, but life itself is not a finite game. In life, right, if it were any type of game, which it's not, but if it were any type of game, it would be an infinite game, right? In infinite games, there are known and unknown players. There are no rules that are agreed upon, so there's really no winner because there's no one thing that everybody has agreed upon that we're all pursuing, right? And the goal of the game is to perpetuate the game. The goal of the game is to be better than you were before. And at some points, some players will become tired of playing the game and drop out, and new players arise and assume those positions. That is probably a more accurate representation of what life is. Sorry, there's a car or something, a truck maybe. That is a more accurate representation of what life is when you think about it, because life isn't about winning. There is no ultimate end that we're all searching for, but I believe that in our generation, right, millennials, whatever generation you are a part of, but I think so definitely with millennials, we were sold this idea of what life should be like and things that we're all chasing, right? And if we don't hit those things, for some of us, when we think we should hit those things, it greatly impacts our happiness. But what we have to realize is that life, just as with work, just as with anything, it's not about the outcome that we're trying to get to. More often than not, it's about the journey that we take to get there, right? And it's about constantly trying to be better than yourself. Part of what brought this up for me is Kevin and I were watching a video the other day from Simon Sinek, who gave a talk in October. He gave a talk in October, and he was talking about the game that we're playing. And Simon Sinek, for those of you that aren't familiar with him, speaks on leadership and companies and culture and how we really have to shift this company culture, because companies are playing the wrong game, right? They're playing a game to win, and in their mind it's about beating the competition. However, oftentimes they're beat not by the competition that they know, but by the competition that they don't know. And that the most successful companies are those that are not competing against others, but that are constantly striving to be better, which is what we should all be doing, is constantly striving to be better, not constantly striving to be better than the person next to us, but the person in the mirror. That's the important piece. And we often lose that. This has been a struggle that I've dealt with several times in my life, right? I have, from time to time, looked at the person to my left and looked at the person to my right and thought, well, I'm not where they are, and therefore something must be wrong. But it's really not the case, and it's taken a lot of self-reflection. It's taken a lot of daily kind of checks of myself to remind myself that I'm not in competition and I'm not pursuing their life, I'm pursuing my own life. Which is why it's important to know that you're not in a game against everyone else, right? You're in pursuit of your own life. And from a company standpoint, again, those companies that are in competition with other companies are ultimately the companies that fail. They're the ones that are constantly going to be chasing, constantly going to be, going after that next best thing, instead of really focusing on the long game. They focus on the short game, not the long game. Or they focus on the short term, not the long term, right? Because the goal of business has been around for ever. But the goal of business is to stay in business. You don't stay in business by being better than your competition. You stay in business by constantly being better than yourself. And the problem is that we've created these arbitrary goals or these arbitrary numbers, right? And it has ultimately affected our culture as a whole, from how we value employees, how we value each other. Really, what I want you guys to know from this video is that life is not a game. At least it's not the game that we've been thinking we've been playing. If you guys are interested in reading more about this, definitely check out our website, adultingdoneright.com, where I've written a little bit more about it and also shared a lot of resources that inspired this video and inspired this conversation. If you have any thoughts or if you have any ideas or this really resonated with you, definitely leave a comment below. I'd love to know what you guys think. And thank you so much for watching. Until next time, we'll see you later. Bye.